Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you and disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. At Odds will enhance your worldview, strengthen your logical weaknesses, and brighten your teeth. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle, across Liberty Ocean, and over the Enlightenment Desert. When your journey is over, you're safe at home, they promise you will be stronger, smarter, and, well, just plain better. And when you go out into the world, men will pat you on the back, women will weep at your wisdom, and children will adore you. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
We will keep this promise to the American people. If you like your health care plan, you will be able to keep your health care plan. Period.
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 Hey, you're listening to the Ad Odd Show. Sorry to say. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
That's Nate over there.
Oh, that's Brian over there.
I'm Brian. Hi. Thanks for listening. Today we're going to talk about Hillary, Redskins, Supreme Court, lost emails, trademark office, gun rights, and more.
Ooh.
You can call us at 248-455-6337 during our live show. Ask questions, make comments, laugh at us. We don't care.
I reserve the right to always hang up.
We will never hang up on a caller.
Both the listeners and on you.
So anyways, I was saying, what? Did you cut me off?
I hung up.
Today is Thursday. It's June 19th. Where's the summer going? 2014. We are in the back room of the Gun Save Lives bar and studio. In what country, Nathan?
Ecuador today.
Ecuador. How's Ecuador doing in FIFA?
About middle.
It's about in the middle.
Yeah.
Exactly. Kind of right about in the middle. Halfway.
Approximately halfway.
They're hot.
It's,
They're hot.
Yep.
They're really hot down there.
Just below them, the toilets spin
go the other way.
That's how well they're doing in the soccer thing. Do people watch that? I mean, are people actually interested?
7 Americans are watching it.
Okay.
Yep. So that's their highest ratings ever.
Well, that's why. And that's why we don't have any live listeners today. We usually have 7.
Yeah, we have 7. We have none. All 7 of them are listening to the World Cup.
So I shouldn't talk about how much I don't enjoy soccer.
They can't hear us.
Oh,
they're
that's
not
a good point.
listening.
They're not going to listen later either.
Go!
I should. Where is my?
Yeah.
I thought I had a vuvuzela around here.
Yeah.
I don't.
Is that little?
Yeah.
It
is.
Oh boy!
Wow. Well, that should fix our problem of being light on material tonight. Thanks for that. Someone just scored, and I don't. All right.
It wasn't me.
Of course.
I haven't scored, and oh boy. Anyways, come on, this is a family show.
Gonna be a good show.
I don't know what it is.
Gonna be a good show.
I got the bar dog in my lap.
All right, yeah, the good one.
Charlie. Anyways, stop panting. Your breath stinks. Ouch. Anyways, what are we? We're going to talk about stuff. Well, you want to talk about Hillary Clinton first? Hey, she's not
really.
She doesn't know if she's running for president, but I can't turn on a TV without seeing her ugly face.
No, it's only because she wrote a book.
Yeah,
about all of the hard choices she had to make, like staying with Bill after the Lewinsky thing.
What about She had choices. What kind of choices did she have?
One of her choices was whether or not
to
save
were
people
hard.
in Benghazi.
They were a hard choice. That's the name of her book. Hard choices.
You can buy it at any place where you can buy books.
If you get hard, you can buy it. You go down there and buy it. Hard choices.
Not from Schuler Bookstore in the Lansing area, though.
I heard sales aren't as brisk as they thought they were.
Of her book?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's kind of flopping a little bit.
Yeah.
She hasn't even sold 1 million. Well, she didn't the day it released anyway.
To Jon Stewart had a spoof on her.
I really don't know how well it's doing, actually.
It's not doing that well. But he was talking about, CNN had an exclusive interview on the same night that Fox had an exclusive interview. And he says, Boy, she's as hard to book as Salinger was, and he wrote Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, no, I get it.
He disappeared.
I get it.
Anyways, yeah, she's out there everywhere.
They did this weird thing on Fox News. I don't know if they do it normally or not, but Greta Van Susteren and Brett Baer teamed up.
They ganged on her.
Like they were in the same same interview. They took turns. It was weird.
They took turns.
I didn't like it.
She was stuck in the middle.
You're gonna need to grow up pretty quickly. We've got an hour and a half of this to do.
I know. So you didn't have. Oh, you want to talk? They were asking about the Constitution and how it's been abused. And
Greta. Well, Greta said, yeah. So the NSA.
He was trying to trap her.
Greta Van Susteren.
I think she's hot. I don't know. There's something about her that turns me on.
So she asks. So she says. So the NSA, spying on people, and people don't like it.
She voted for some of those Patriot Acts.
And Hillary Clinton said, "Well, the laws that gave the government broad authority. I voted for some of them. I voted against some of them, but it was in a time of emergency right after 9/11, and so people just wanted to be safe.
Right, and so that's the excuse we can use for tyranny.
In the time of emergency, people just want to be safe. And Greta said, well, there's this, she actually said, there's this funny little thing in the Constitution called the Fourth Amendment, and it's quite plain. Yeah. It couldn't be any more plain. If you want to take something from citizens, you need a warrant.
It's either plain or it's not. There are no gradations of plainness.
Yeah, there are.
Oh. All right. I don't know.
Are you serious?
I'm just trying to be
What about a graded plain?
Ooh. About amber waves of grain.
Right, plain grain.
So
yeah, and
she backpedaled.
And you know what?
What?
Well, she didn't really. You made the point. Everything that Hillary Clinton said. Well, a lot of what Hillary Clinton said, she wasn't wrong. She's wrong about the whole. It was a time of emergency and people want to be safe, and so that's why we did it. That wasn't right. Even if some of us on the show supported that sort of thing around that time, wasn't right. But
who the hell are you talking about? You supported the Patriot Act?
No, I didn't say that.
Some aspects of it?
I didn't. What?
Oh, my goodness.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, you've grown up in the last
I'm
few years.
evolving on the issue.
Yeah,
I've grown up. Are you kidding?
You were like 2 years old when it happened.
Go back. Some of our shows, I think from 2012 or 2011,
those have been erased.
Listen to them because they have not been erased.
Those are all gone.
Tell me who grew up. Public education and
all
art,
good.
and we need to fund these things
public
with tax
art
money.
Public education.
Let's talk about those things.
I still believe that to some
no, you
extent.
don't.
I do.
Okay, then go back a couple shows ago where you said, I don't believe that at all anymore. You're as bad as Obama and Hillary Clinton. Anyway, everything she said about spying and the Fourth Amendment and these sorts of things, saying that we need to repeal these laws because they're bad and that we shouldn't be spying
on
people.
If she's elected president, she'll do her best.
Right. She didn't say that, but I mean, she says she'll speak out. Whatever role she's in.
Whatever, yeah. Okay. Well, I can
she
read
wasn't
between
wrong.
the lines.
Now, do I believe her one bit? No, I don't.
Her lips were moving.
How can she? First of all, we have this clip of her talking about gun owners. How can she, in one statement, agree with everything in the Constitution? This typical liberal, everything in the Constitution, Fourth Amendment, all of that. Yeah, we have those rights. Next one, we talk. Well, what about guns? No. See, I don't support gun rights.
The Second Amendment is not part of the Constitution.
Well, you're right. No, you're right. It's
dated.
Wait.
It's dated?
No, it's actually... Oh, it's a living document. I forgot.
Oh, wait a minute. It's number 2, isn't it, in the amendments? I think so.
The Second Amendment?
I think so.
Is it number 2?
It's 2.
The Second Amendment,
right after
really?
1. Right after 1. And just before 3. We shall not...
I don't know. This thing's big and it's in a foreign language. I can't read it. I can't figure it out.
A lot of therefores and thou arts. No,
yeah.
Not really. It's pretty clear. I think it's in English.
So, all right. So, anyway, I mean... Hillary Clinton, she's got my vote based on her interview with Greta on Fox News.
But we can't trust her.
She was also in a town hall type thing. It was aired on CNN where people were allowed to ask questions. And this person who...
I'm sure wasn't a plant.
How do I put this?
Be nice.
No, she fits right in with Moms Demand Action. The ones that I've seen. Fits right in with them.
Unattractive lesbian?
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding? That's what you were thinking.
That's not at all what I was saying. I'm saying she looks like she might be a mom.
No, she doesn't.
She was.
No way.
All right, this here.
She looks like she could be a dad.
My name is Santa Maria. I'm from Maryland. I'm a teacher. My question is about guns. I'm very concerned about the proliferation of guns in America, especially as it pertains to school shootings.
Right.
Do you think that reinstating the ban on assault weapons and banning high-capacity magazines would do any good?
Yes, I do. I do.
Good.
You know, my...
So, first of all, she says, jeez, do you think that reinstating the assault weapons ban that your husband passed would do any good? What is she going to say? No, my husband was absolutely wrong. I led his administration for 8 years, but he was wrong. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and of course it didn't work then, and it's not going to work in the future.
Yeah, it worked. Of course it did. But now that we don't have an assault weapons ban, people just have automatic weapons.
We should have cut the applause.
First of all, I think as a teacher or really any parent, what's been happening with these school shootings should cause everybody to just think hard. We make hard choices and we balance competing values all the time. And I was disappointed that the Congress did not pass universal background checks.
For one thing, they can't be thinking hard about it, because if they thought hard about it, they'd realize that this doesn't work. And competing what? Competing? There's no competing.
Competing values.
Values?
Well, no, okay, so what she's referring to, first of all, she has to say that it was hard choices because that's the name of the book she's there to promote. So she had to say we make hard choices.
And by the way, she says it 63 times because Jon Stewart did a count.
I'm sure she did. When she's talking about competing values, what she's pretending there is that, of course, we want to protect people's rights and protect their liberty.
And that gun owners don't.
Of course we do.
That's what she's saying, buddy. She's saying there's competing values, and that on the one side, the gun owners don't care about life and all that stuff.
She's about to say that when she calls them terrorists. Calls us terrorists.
But
what I think
that's what she's saying.
The competing values are her own want to A, protect freedom, right, and B, protect the poor children.
No, I don't think that's what she means at all.
I think that's it. That's absolutely
I don't think so.
what
I think
is.
she's saying
whatever.
Between gun owners and non-gun owners.
After the horrors of the shootings at Sandy Hook, and now we've had more in the time since. And
74 more? They're going to repeat that lie, even though CNN came out and said that number is exaggerated.
So
like
this
16.
is why I was saying that this woman looked like she would fit right in with the moms, because she has all of their stats.
Well, that's
and talking.
That's the host.
You'll hear. That was not the host.
Yeah, it was.
It was not the host. That was the woman asking the question. That
I don't
said
think so.
74 more.
I thought that was the host.
Okay, look it up. If you have the internet at home, those of you listening to this internet show, use Google. Look it up. You can see
I
the
thought
video.
It was the host.
The video of this woman standing there with a microphone, real
but
awkwardly.
I don't think
that
doesn't
says
show her saying
74 more.
Really?
It sure.
Oh, I'm going to look after the show.
All right.
Let's go.
What else? We'll post the results.
Her Highness say.
I don't think any parent, any person, should have to fear about their child going to school or going to college because someone.
Right now, stop this too, because really. Do we live in a society where you don't fear for your children? Is that even possible? What is the expectation that you are going to live anywhere in the world,
you remember,
in the natural world, where you can completely have no fear that your child might come to harm? That's insane. That's unicorns and rainbows. Listen, there's a lot of bad stuff out there, and you are going to worry about your kids. You have no right not to be worried. You have no right to live in a society where you don't have fear. Fear is individualized. Every person's fears are their own. You can't quantify fear. It's subjective. It's not objective. Right? Am I wrong?
No, you're right. And while I agree with everything you said, it was a great rant. Again, like I said before the show, I feel like I work for CNN or NBC, where we cut off the part of the statement where she qualifies the whole lack of fear thing.
I'm just jumping on that.
I know.
Because she wants a world where there's no fear for your children. That
fear of them being shot by an automatic weapon in school. You shouldn't have to fear that, Brian. Think of the children.
I don't know how you cannot
think. You get rid of automatic weapons.
You don't.
That's
you can't
the
do
way.
it, though. But it's impossible to get rid of automatic weapons. Or
no,
semi-automatic
I don't
weapons.
think that's true.
Or single-shot weapons.
No, that's not true.
No, it's impossible.
It's not impossible. I think it's
is.
impossible to do it while keeping humans intact.
No, because people can make them in
their
garage.
Saying, yeah, but if there aren't people.
Oh, well, yeah,
I
suppose.
So it's not, I mean, don't say impossible.
All
Come
right.
on, you're a scientist. Well,
I'm a quasi-scientist.
Yeah.
Now, all right, it's highly unlikely that is a possibility.
Right.
For whatever reasons, psychological, emotional, political, ideological, whatever it means, could possibly enter that school property with an automatic weapon and murder innocent children, students, teachers.
The probability, and in fact the number of times that some crazy person has entered school property with an automatic weapon to murder and kill teachers and children
in the last 80 years is zero.
There you go. I was going to say it's as likely as somebody driving their spaceship in.
Oh, wait a minute now. You're talking about aliens. That's a different thing.
No, a human driving a space.
Well, yeah,
I shouldn't say it's as likely because it is more likely that somebody would take an automatic weapon. But it has happened as many times as somebody running their spaceship into a school.
Oh, well, that's probably true. It hasn't happened. But the thing is, she lists a bunch of ideological, political, all these reasons for taking a gun into there. It doesn't matter what the reason is. These people are not right. They're insane. There's something wrong with them when they take a gun into a school and kill innocent people. That's not the issue. The issue is how best can we protect them. And the best way to protect children in a school is to have somebody who is as well armed as the crazies out there, whether it's a police officer, whether it's trained staff, whether it's parents with concealed pistol licenses, whatever it is. That's how you combat and make sure that the casualties are held to an absolute minimum. You don't have gun-free zones.
We haven't even gotten to the point of this clip yet.
And we need to take a break soon.
I'm well aware that this is a hot political subject. And again, I will speak out no matter what role I find myself in. But I believe that we need a more thoughtful conversation. We cannot let a minority of people, and that's what it is. It is a minority of people hold a viewpoint that terrorizes the majority of people. And you are about the fifth person in the last weeks, parents, another teacher, just interested citizens.
Stop for a minute.
Enough.
So the thing is, she goes, you're the fifth person that's asked me this question in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Has she seen like 10 people? So it's like 50%?
Well, she's been selling her book quite a bit.
Or has she seen hundreds of thousands of people and 5 have asked her that?
Right. Yeah.
So
first
that's
of all,
statistics. And
she didn't say 5 or 6 weeks. She said in the last weeks. But that was the part there where she talks about the minority gun owners, which she thinks are the vast minority,
right? Which
who
she's
terrorize the rest of us.
Right, I noticed that. But she thinks that gun owners are a minority. They're not. They are the majority in this country.
And the people that think that people should be allowed to own guns,
and not
even
only
more than that.
Not only that, but poll after poll after poll shows that even non-gun owners are not supporting draconian gun laws because they know they don't work.
Right, that's the point. The point that I was just making.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
There's no better way to say I love you. I'm thankful you're in my life. I'm glad to be with you. I'm thinking about you, or I miss you. Then with a spectacular flower arrangement from proflowers.com. A gorgeous fresh flower arrangement is a must to dress up every birthday, holiday, or anniversary. As a special treat for you, your beautiful flowers start at an amazing low price of $19.99. And ProFlowers.com will include a free vase with floral orders. Imagine a beautiful bouquet of 100 blooms for only $19.99 with a free vase included. Every festive bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. Tell your loved ones you're thinking of them with flowers. Go to ProFlowers.com/radio and enter your code to receive this special offer. Enter code POKE. That's ProFlowers.com/radio, code POKE. Send a bouquet they'll never forget from ProFlowers.com/radio, code POKE.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 877-238-6197. Again, 877-238-6197. That's 877-238-6197. 877-238-6197.
150 million people suffer from headaches. All you want is for the pounding in your head to stop. Migralex stops the pounding. Migralex was developed by a neurologist and founder of the New York Headache Center.
I'm neurologist Dr. Alex Mauskop. After studying and researching the human brain for 25 years, I've developed Migralex, which eliminates pounding headaches. It works for my patients, and I'm so convinced it will work for you. I don't just guarantee it, I put my name on it.
Dr. Mauskop's Migralex gets rid of headaches fast without harsh caffeine, sodium, or preservatives.
Migralex works unbelievably fast. And it's gentle on my stomach.
Find out how to get your free bottle of Migralex. Call 800-559-7387. Plus, if you're one of the first 100 callers, you'll also receive the Migralex Quick Tips to Headache Relief absolutely free. That's 800-559-7387. Or go to migralexrelief.com. MIGRALEX relief.com. Or call 800-559-7387.
From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys.
And welcome back to At Odds. I'm Nate. That's Brian over there.
So we have a comment. Oh boy, I would have it. I guess I'd have it written kind of like the Michigan.
Okay, I didn't. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that wasn't
what I need to do. Okay, it's gonna. Okay, and for those of you listening, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pull a Rush Limbaugh here, but when I do this, that means you can do whatever the hell you want to do.
That's
coming back from the break. If I don't do this,
which is pointing a finger
then don't do it.
Okay.
Yep. So we got a question.
Now? Do it now? You pointed a finger at me.
Jeez, don't do it.
All right.
Don't do it. So you get to rewrite the Second Amendment.
During the break, we had a comment come in.
Yeah. What would you want it to say? And I think what I would do is I would copy Michigan's...
I was going to say that.
Michigan's wording for their Second Amendment, right? It's not the Second Amendment. It's actually part of the meat of the thing.
Article 6. Yeah.
Yes. I would copy that and paste it. And I don't know the wording exactly.
It's basically the people have a right to keep and bear arms for the protection of themselves and the state.
Yeah. So that would be it. It would
Something
be clear
along those lines.
Or I would rewrite it to say there's no need for this amendment because it's
a natural right.
Yeah. You have the right. I mean, that's the weird thing about it is if we didn't have the Second Amendment, things wouldn't be different. I mean, you would have the same rights.
I guess what I do, now that I think about it, I would say something like this. The people have the right to keep and bear arms that are exactly equal to those carried by the police and military.
Yeah, but I completely disagree with that. Why would you limit that? Because first of all, that means when the police and military upgrade, you can't keep your old weapons. And why can't you have something?
All right, you can modify at least.
No,
the same.
Why qualify it at all?
Well, what about
this?
There's
no reason to qualify it. Yes,
I thought you were going to say
that you have the right to own a bazooka. I mean, let's make that clear.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
Agree. Now, I thought you were going to go the other way. What if the police and the military disarm?
Then we'd all be safe.
Ooh,
I mean, dogs would be living all over the place.
No,
they wouldn't be shot.
Dying. People wouldn't get busted in on no-knock warrants and be shot in their closets while they're cowering from the police.
You want to talk about rainbows and unicorns.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Well, we'd need some time to think about that, I think, to really come up with a ironclad second amendment.
I think something that says, don't tread on me. Put that in there. Leave me the hell alone.
Yeah. You could add. You say people have the right to keep and bear arms for the protection of themselves and the state, and the state cannot infringe upon those rights in any way. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The right of the people to keep and bear arms is absolute. I think that would be pretty clear. But, I think when the founders wrote it, they thought it was pretty clear.
Yeah, I don't think they figured they had to go into a lot of detail because it was pretty self-evident.
Speaking of the founding and freedom and things, you found this video. The Heritage Foundation did a little seminar, little panel on Benghazi.
Right.
What can we do to hold the government accountable? 4 Americans died.
One of the people on the panel they had was Bridget Gabriel, who was my new crush.
Your new favorite person.
Oh, boy. She's a cutie, and she's bright. And she's pretty.
We have a clip that has been edited for time.
Yes.
The content's there. We took out some applause. We took out some of the words, the ramblings that didn't really matter. But the question that this Muslim American asked is there, and then it's quite long.
Bridget's response.
We're going to play it.
It is long. It's about
brilliant.
4 million minutes, just under 4
minutes. 4 million minutes, yes.
4 million minutes.
Yes, so hang in there.
Get something to eat.
We're going to go
take a potty break.
Go take a nap. All right.
Peace to you all. My name is Saba Ahmed. I'm a law student at American University. I am here to ask you a simple question. I know that we portray Islam and all Muslims as bad, but there's 1.8 billion Muslim followers of Islam. We have 8 million plus Muslim Americans in this country, and I don't see them represented here. But my question is, how can we fight an ideological war with weapons? How can we ever end this war? The jihadist ideology that you talk about, it's an ideology. How can you ever win this thing if you don't address it ideologically?
We were not here to bash Muslims. You were the one who brought up the issue about most Muslims, not us. There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%, according to all intelligence services around the world. That leaves 75% of them peaceful people. But when you look at 15 to 25% of the world Muslim population, you're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. That is as big of the United States. So why should we worry about the radicals, 15 to 25%? Because it is the radicals that kill. Because it is the radicals that behead and massacre. When you look throughout history, when you look at all the lessons of history, most Germans were peaceful. Yet the Nazis drove the agenda. And as a result, 60 million people died. Almost 14 million in concentration camps. 6 million were Jews. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Russia, most Russians were peaceful as well. Yet the Russians were able to kill 20 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at China, for example, most Chinese were peaceful as well. Yet the Chinese were able to kill 70 million people. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. When you look at Japan prior to World War II, most Japanese were peaceful as well. Yet Japan was able to butcher its way across Southeast Asia, killing 12 million people, mostly killed with bayonets and shovels. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. On September 11th in the United States, we had 2.3 million Arab Muslims living in the United States. It took 19 hijackers, 19 radicals to bring America down to its knees, destroy the World Trade Center, attack the Pentagon, and kill almost 3,000 Americans that day. The peaceful majority were irrelevant. So for all our powers of reasons and us talking about moderate and peaceful Muslims, I'm glad you're here. But where are the others speaking out? And since you are the only Muslim representative... And since you're the only Muslim representative in here, you took the limelight instead of speaking about why our government... So as an American citizen, you sat in this room and instead of standing up and saying a question or asking something about our 4 Americans that died and what our government is doing to correct the problem, you stood there to make a point about peaceful, moderate Muslims. I wish you brought 10 with you to question about how we can hold our government responsible. It is time we take political correctness and throw it in the garbage where it belongs and start calling it fair.
Hip, hip, hooray.
So the applause in the center, or in the middle of it, was
quite long.
Way longer.
Yeah.
We cut
she got
that
a standing
way
ovation,
down.
actually.
Yeah, and she actually was like, okay.
Oh, that's enough.
All right, come on. I'm not done with my brilliant answer to this ridiculous question. Who you did some research. You said that she apparently, the Muslim woman has a history. She's been known to show up at some of these things.
And she's been committed, I guess, to some mental institutions, and she likes to go to a lot of...
Oh, boy. Plug it in. All right. No, it's not. Fix it.
There we go.
Is that better?
No. Yeah, okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Thanks, Steve. Steve's our engineer. He took care of that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Anyways,
thanks, Steve.
She's got some mental history problems.
So basically she comes to this thing where they're there to talk about
Benghazi.
These Americans died. What can we do to make sure the government does its job?
And her point was, or Gabriel's point, or Bridget's point was, we never mentioned Muslims. We never mentioned Islam. This was not what we were talking about.
But since you did,
you brought it up, so I'll tell you what I think.
She makes a brilliant point that, of course, not all Muslims, of course, not all Germans, of course, not all Chinese, of course, not all Russians are evil.
It's the silent majority that do nothing and become irrelevant.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad.
Yeah.
That's what allowed these atrocities to take place.
It's brilliant. We have to take a break, unfortunately. AdOddShow.com, Facebook.com/AdOddShow. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDoug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDoug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDoug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
There's no better way to say I love you. I'm thankful you're in my life. I'm glad to be with you. I'm thinking about you, or I miss you. Done with a spectacular flower arrangement from ProFlowers.com. A gorgeous fresh flower arrangement is a must to dress up every birthday, holiday, or anniversary. As a special treat for you, your beautiful flowers start at an amazing low price of $19.99. And ProFlowers.com will include a free vase with floral orders. Imagine a beautiful bouquet of 100 blooms for only $19.99 with a free vase included. Every festive bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. Tell your loved ones you're thinking of them with flowers. Go to ProFlowers.com/radio and enter your code to receive this special offer. Enter code POKE. That's ProFlowers.com/radio, code POKE. Send a bouquet they'll never forget from ProFlowers.com/radio, code POKE.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 877-238-6197. Again, 877-238-6197. That's 877-238-6197. 877-238-6197.
No college degree and mid-career? Make the choice that can make a difference this year with an ITT Technical Institute near you. At ITT Tech, we offer programs of study in fields including information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, criminal justice, nursing, and the growing field of health sciences. And now, ITT Tech is helping reduce the cost of education with a new ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. The scholarship can help lower your education costs dramatically. We've always believed pursuing an education is a sound investment. And now, with the ITT Tech Scholarship, education could be in your future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech for yourself, just call 800-771-0443. That's 800-771-0443. With the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. Now, it's your turn. 800-771-0443. How are we doing? For more information about graduation rates, the median data of students who completed the program, please visit programinfo.itt-tech.edu.
At odds with the hosts. Sound off by calling 248-455-6337.
All right, I'm Nate. That's Brian over there. We're back. Oh, stop doing that.
Am I on again?
Actually, stop doing that.
Okay, I can't help it.
Yes, you can. Stop.
I have no free will. I can't do it.
Cut your hands off.
That would do it.
All right, let's...
I could still do this, though. I could still take my stubs and beat you with them.
Gonna punch you.
All right. So anyways, that was Bridget. I love her. She's my new hero now. Look her up. Bridget Gabriel. She's a cutie. What about... Isn't it convenient? You know, if you were a government agency and you had somebody accuse you something and... They said, we'd like to FOIA all of your emails and all of your documents. And you went, oops, we seem to have lost all of our emails and all of our documents. Like every police department seems to do when you want to FOIA their information.
Yeah, a little FOIA, Freedom of Information Act request is what you're talking about. It's even a little more than that because I don't think that congressional committees are necessarily restricted by that. They're more like a court where they can subpoena information, not... even if it isn't available through a Freedom of Information Act request.
Unless it
they
falls
can still
under
get that
national
sort of thing.
Security type stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because you couldn't get a copy of her emails.
Probably not.
Well,
maybe,
and in fact,
neither
can Congress.
Yeah, apparently.
Because and you're talking about Lois Lerner. She's the IRS chief official that was in charge of
spying
the
on
groups
Tea Party
that
harassing
targeted
them
Tea Party groups and things like that. They asked for her emails between 2009, 2011, when all this was going on, and they're like, "Sure, we'll get them for you. Of course, we will."
Yeah,
and then
we're transparent.
Hard drive crashed. It was weird.
Oh,
One of the hard drive with her email on it. The hard drive crashed.
Her computer is even gone.
Her computer, which isn't where the emails are stored, but we pretend. And then, so then they decided that we can still recover it. Congress, the committee said, "Well, we want the damaged hard drive. Give it to us because, we'll get the stuff."
Right.
Oh, well, we recycled it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what, we recycled it because that's what we do.
It's a 2014 Chevy Suburban now.
Yeah. Right. or a hard drive that's storing things that aren't her emails.
But the buzz on social media is that, they just go to the NSA. They have everything.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, a representative sent a request to the NSA saying, "You've been spying on everybody.
Yeah.
I want this. Right. It will actually help in a criminal investigation." Right. So that's the type of thing you're looking for, right? So
that's what
send that over
for.
to us.
Yeah.
The other weird thing, they mentioned that they only back up emails for 6 months.
Which I find hard to believe, but
that is weird.
Maybe.
That is really weird. Are you telling me that she only had 6 months worth of emails? Because anywhere I've ever worked, I've had all of my emails pretty much as old as I want it.
I have like 8,560.
You have emails that are older than 6 months ago?
Oh, yeah.
That's weird. So I don't know how the backup crashed.
It just seems convenient.
And the mail server where you would store emails, the emails aren't there anymore. They just delete them every 6 months or something.
See, you're sexist because you said mail server. It could have been a female server.
That's right. I'm sorry. All right, I give up. I'm just saying, it's a little fishy, and
we shall see.
Convenient.
We shall see.
She'll see what? They're not going to get the emails. That's it.
Oh,
what are you going to do?
You don't know.
What are you going to do?
I don't know.
That's the thing. She's going to get away with everything. That it seems to be more and more clear. I'm willing.
We have top people.
I'm willing to convict her without evidence right now. I'm willing, because if she had nothing to hide, she wouldn't be using her freedom. She wouldn't use her rights if
you would
she
think
had nothing
she would
to
have
hide.
made hard copies of every one of her emails too and put it
if
in a
she
file.
had nothing to hide.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Oh, speaking of nothing to hide, you like football, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
I do. Mm-hmm. I like football. I'm a Lions fan. I don't want to upset a lot of our fans or our listeners we have no fans. We have a couple of
listeners who are
all over the country.
Like tigers and cougars and bobcats and all of the other types of animals that you're marginalizing.
I like Lions.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions.
Marginalizing.
Hate the Redskins.
That's disparaging.
Hate the Redskins. Anyways.
So do I. I
actually do. I know.
And they're terrible.
But apparently, this has been going on for some time, politically correctness and all that crap. But some people are saying the logo and the nickname Redskins is offensive to Native Americans, even though apparently most Native Americans don't have an issue with it and think, it's perfectly fine.
And in fact, there's plenty of pictures of Native Americans wearing Redskins gear.
Right. So they tried, I guess, a few years ago to go through the courts and sue them and all this stuff, and the courts have upheld their use of the term Redskins until recently where...
Okay, so what you're talking about is the actual trademark that is registered with the United States federal government.
The trademark
on the word Redskins, basically, and the logo.
And the logo, yeah. So they've registered. It's been registered since, probably decades. The team's been around for 80-some years.
And it's always been the Redskins, huh?
Yeah.
Weird.
And all of a sudden, the new federal department, trademark, says it's offensive. And
it's not a new federal department.
That's not new. I'm sorry.
It's
been around for a while.
Office.
But yeah.
Copyrights, they do those sorts of things.
Yeah. They said, we decide based on the evidence that these registrations must be canceled because they were disparaging to Native Americans at the respective times that they were registered. Okay. So I don't know when they were registered, but it was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
So they were disparaging at the time, but they're not now?
Meaning, well, I don't think that matters. I think what it means is they probably have some sort of policy that they won't issue trademark registration to something that is disparaging or offensive.
Well, they're saying at the time they were registered.
Well, exactly. So they're saying it should have never been registered is what they're saying. Now, I'll tell you, the exact same thing happened in 1999.
Right, that's when it was.
And, in fact, the trademark was canceled at that time. The registration was canceled in 1999. But then
they appealed.
A D.C. appeals court said no. In the thing that might get them through this time, too, to get their trademark reinstated, the same concept that got it through then is this little legal thing where the people who were hurt and who were offended essentially waited too long to bring a complaint. And so for the Redskins to change, because they need to get a new trademark, change their name, it would be damaging to their brand, to the team, because they've been the Redskins for so long.
Right.
So to change it now would do harm to them. Right. And since it had been 60 years, 70, 80 years, I'm talking in 1999, 70 years, whatever.
Yeah.
That was too long. You can't wait that long to complain. It's been the Redskins for that long.
So it's common use, common law. It's been around.
So that may or may not get them around it this time, too. But the truth is, it matters very little. I mean, really.
That's the thing, right. They're certainly going to be able to protect their name and their brand, and they're going to sue and win anybody that tries to use their logo and their name.
Yeah, look,
obviously.
The only thing a trademark registration does,
it establishes,
it basically makes it easy for you to prove that it is in fact your property. It is your
trademark. You've been using for so many years.
Because you officially...
Right.
Anytime that you use something, we started calling this At Odds. When we started doing that and started identifying this show as At Odds, we automatically get trademark protection.
Right.
You don't have to register.
There's common
for it.
law that comes in.
So if somebody came and tried and did something that was damaging to our brand here, which is impossible.
Oh, God. No.
I mean, it could only help.
Right.
We could get them to stop through legal action because
unless they showed that they used it before.
Yeah,
us.
we have an automatic implicit trademark of sorts. It's not registered.
Same with copyrights.
Yeah, exactly. Once you publish something, it's copyrighted.
You don't have to necessarily go through an official office.
The one interesting thing that I did see that this might kind of open the door to, a country overseas or a foreign country that's importing goods. Right now,
let's say China
that makes cheap crap to send in
jerseys. Let's say
apparently customs or whoever does the importing somehow can check and see if things that are being imported are violating trademark
if they're paying
registrations
a fee to the Redskins.
So apparently, the federal government, the customs agents, won't be doing that anymore. So there is a chance that some foreign counterfeit
stuff
could come in, but. Again, the Washington Redskins still have protection against that. They still could go to court, and they still would win.
Right.
So it really does nothing. It's a political statement, but what's next?
Right.
I mean, is the IRS going to get involved and start targeting them?
In the meanwhile, I wanted to point out that in Red Mesa, Arizona, their high school, located on a Navajo reservation, is a public school. Where almost 100% of the students are Navajo Indians, their mascot is the Redskins. Just want to throw that.
The potato?
No, they're not. They're not the potato. No, they use a Native American logo.
Are nearly 100% of the students offended?
I should think so.
Or are they actually proud of their school? They have school pride.
No,
they're all offended. They're angry every day. They're sad,
disgruntled.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Well,
real quick, some current and pending trademarks. We got the Kraut cap is a trademark that's been filed. You know, Kraut is disparaging. The Dago swag, that is approved. It's a line of clothing. Dago is derogatory. Crack-a-ass skateboards is a trademark been approved. Now, cracker is just like the N-word to whites, but that's there. This one, you can't make a housewife out of a whore. That's disparaging to both whores and housewives, I would think. That is a trademark that's been approved. I like this one, Blanco Basura, which sounds pretty cool, but what it means is white trash in Spanish. So apparently that could be disparaging. And then Home Cookin' Biscuit Head. I like that one because the Home Cookin' Biscuit Head, apparently that's a restaurant and a food item. But a biscuit head was a term that the American GIs called the Koreans during the Korean War because their heads looked like biscuits, apparently. I don't know how, but biscuit head. Approved, not disparaging.
Well,
apparently.
Yeah, but surely some Koreans and, let's see, some white people, some Italians, some Germans they'll all get together.
Some blacks, because I threw out figures over... with the N-word.
Something that rhymes with figures.
Figures. That's
yeah,
pending.
So then they'll get together too. And, well, that one's pending. That one's not approved.
We don't know, yeah.
But the other ones surely will be overturned and will be canceled.
Right.
Surely.
Because they are disparaging.
Surely they will.
At the time of registration.
Some organization like the ACLU surely will put together 5 puppets that they march into the courtroom to feign being offended over this sort of thing, and they'll get it overturned.
Right.
All right, let's move on to something more interesting.
All right, well, real quick, this shouldn't take a long time. U.S. Supreme Court has ruled on a straw purchase case. Now,
oh, good. They're saying that we can, in fact, buy guns for other people if we want because you should be able to.
Well, this was, to me, much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
Because apparently this was a guy who bought a gun for his uncle or something who was in another state. He bought it like in, I don't know, Virginia somewhere. His uncle was in Pennsylvania. And on the form it says, are you buying this gun for yourself? And he put yes when he should have put no, I'm buying it for my, father-in-law or whoever he was buying it for, uncle or whatever. And so he was getting nailed for a straw purchase. Now, a straw purchase basically means if you buy a gun and then sell it or give it to someone who is prohibited from owning a firearm, that's a straw purchase. That's against the law. That, makes more sense than this. The father-in-law and the purchaser were both approved to own firearms, so that was not an issue. But the fact that he sort of lied on his form that he filled out was the issue. But I wanted to read what Kagan said. She said that the federal government's elaborate system of background checks and record-keeping requirements help law enforcement investigate crimes by tracing guns to their buyers. Not really true. There's no instances where crimes have been solved with this scheme.
Okay.
Those provisions would mean little, she said, if would-be gun buyers could evade them by simply getting another person to buy the gun and fill out the paperwork. That is already against the law to do it for prohibited persons.
That's not her point.
What is her point?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you, liberal, for actually pointing out that we do, in fact, have a system for background checks for firearm purchases. Thanks for that, because the talking point is, we just want background checks. It's just common sense. Why can't we have background checks? We do.
Not only that, but they're elaborate.
Exactly, which means
her
huge
words.
And overbearing and unconstitutional, I think is what she means by elaborate. Her point is not that it's legal to buy a gun for somebody else. Her point is that if you buy a gun, if I buy a gun, I sign as purchaser,
right,
and then I give it to you, they can't trace it to you because I bought it, so they trace it to me. And these background checks and registration, when she said record-keeping requirements, she means gun registration would show me as the buyer.
Right, but the point is, nothing stops me from buying a gun and then 5 minutes later selling it to you.
I didn't say it's a good system or that it makes any sense.
I can gift it to you.
I didn't
within
say,
5 minutes.
I didn't say that it makes any sense.
The issue in this case was that when he filled out the form, he said he was the buyer and he was going to own the gun when that was not the case. And unfortunately, his uncle or whoever he was doing it for actually wrote a check out, gave him $400, wrote in the memo for firearm. So they had this elaborate scheme that...
They were just really, really bad criminals.
They weren't criminals. They thought they were doing everything right. But the point is, we already have a law in place to stop this. You cannot buy it for a prohibited person. You can buy it and gift it. Somebody brought up the question about what about raffles, gun raffles, where there's a fundraiser where someone buys a gun and they're going to give it away in a raffle.
Sure.
I think it's much ado about nothing. I think it's a bunch of crap. I think it was stupid, and I wanted to read that because.
But no, I mean they upheld the ruling that he was
that it was a straw purchase,
that it was illegal,
right?
So
he'll be convicted.
This dude's in trouble.
Yeah.
Will be convicted. Was convicted.
Right. I mean, it'll stand.
This is a Supreme Court. Of course, it'll stand. Where's it going to go? Yeah. So that's it.
So when you buy a gun and you want to gift it, which is okay, just don't lie about when you buy it that you're going to own it, because like I say, nothing stops a person from buying a gun, turning around within 5 minutes and selling it to someone else.
But only if you mark it that you're buying it for someone else. That's what doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that you are buying it for
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're selling it.
Right.
I mean, so
this, like I say, this is a big cluster F in every stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. All right. Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break. Facebook.com/@oddshow. Check out Brian's website. I'll let you Google for that. We'll be right back.
WRS Digital, Cleveland, Tennessee.
If you're living with diabetes and have Medicare or private insurance, here is some great news. Call United States Medical Supply today, and we'll send you the smallest glucose meter in the world, absolutely free. So small, it fits right on the bottle of strips. And if you call now, we'll also send you this stylish full-featured meter at no charge. That's 2 free meters. You can keep one in your pocket and leave the other one at home.
You can even hook it up to your computer so your doctor can track your results.
United States Medical Supply also delivers prescription medication right to my door, so I don't have to go to the drugstore anymore.
Don't let diabetes get in the way of living. Give us a call today at United States Medical Supply and get the smallest meter in the world for free. Call today.
Call 800-314-2626. 800-314-2626. That's 800-314-2626. Call today.
America's premier grassroots conservative talk radio network.
Red State Talk Radio.
If you're diabetic, this message could change your life. Is your blood sugar out of control even when you do all the right stuff? Are you afraid of diabetic blindness and the risk of amputation, as well as all those other side effects? Well, you should be. Is there anything that could help manage your blood sugar? Nobetes is a natural supplement that may quickly and dramatically lower your blood sugar.
My name is Bob Corder. I've been using Nobetes for about 3.5 to 4 months now, and in the first 3 months, I've actually lowered my blood sugars from 500s down to 139, and then it dropped to 88 to 93.
My name is Kirsten. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and while taking Nobetes, my blood sugar levels dropped from 295 to 115 in just 1 day.
The FDA hasn't evaluated these statements, and Nobetes isn't intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. But for many, it's helped drop their blood sugar. So if you've been evaluated with high blood sugar, don't delay. Evaluate Nobetes now. Call 800-554-7159 and get 2 bottles free. Just cover shipping and handling. Call 800-554-7159. That's 800-554-7159.
Red State Talk Radio. Real radio for real Americans.
Hi, this is Primo Mondoni, General Manager for Red State Talk Radio. We're now entering our 5th year of bringing you the very best in grassroots, common-sense, conservative talk radio. Internet radio is a tough, competitive business, and I've come to realize that the station is going to advance that next level. It's going to require a significant increase in investments in both personnel and infrastructure. Up until now, commercial advertising has paid the freight, and while it's been enough to keep the doors open, it doesn't leave room for much else. That's why we're asking our listeners to consider making a donation to help us reach our goals. Monthly subscriptions begin at only $2 per month. All subscribers receive a free RedStateTalkRadio.com email account. All $4 per month subscribers and all one-time donations of $50 or more will also receive a free Red State Talk Radio t-shirt. I've run the numbers, and if only 10% of our listeners were paid subscribers, we'd be in a much better position for the expansion needed for 2014 and 2015. So please, consider supporting Red State Talk Radio today.
Tune in to Red State Talk Radio, the new media's talk monster for grassroots, common sense, conservative talk radio.
That's what freedom is all about.
Red State Talk Radio, WRS Digital, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Did you ever look at the stains in your coffee cup and then realize that's exactly what happens to your teeth? Power Swabs is the 5-minute solution to get your teeth white without visiting the dentist. This is John Greenhut, the CEO of Power Swabs. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, all it takes is 5 minutes with Power Swabs. In 5 minutes, you'll see an average of 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. It's clinically proven to whiten natural teeth as well as caps and veneers. The secret is a tooth detergent that lifts stains off of your teeth. Best of all, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and you're done. To try Power Swabs risk-free, call 1-800-925-9963. That's 1-800-925-9963. I guarantee your bright white smile will have your friends, family, and coworkers talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free today. 1-800-925-9963. That's 1-800-925-9963.
Tune in to Red State Talk Radio, the new media's talk monster for grassroots.
That's what freedom is all about.
Common sense.
I would be willing to use waterboarding.
Conservative talk radio.
Big spending liberal.
Red State Talk Radio. WRS Digital, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Commerce.
My name is Don. After you reboot your computer, you should listen to the At Odds Show.
All right.
Boy, that's not racist at all.
So, what I was thinking is that
goodness.
We could talk about Australia for a minute.
We're screwed. Clinton says we should use Australia as an example of what they can do with gun control.
You're already looking ahead where you think Hillary's president or back where Bill was president?
No, I'm thinking that Obama's going to have 4 more years.
Okay, so you meant Obama.
Right.
Is saying, not Clinton.
I'm sorry. Clinton would have said that had he's still been president.
And she will.
And she will. God, that's so sad.
It's messed up, isn't it?
And she will get elected. Gosh.
How much time was between Bush and Bush? Well, 8 years. So Yeah, there's a few more. Never mind. All right, go ahead.
It's horrible. I didn't even want to talk about this, but he's saying Australia is great. In reality, the former Southwest Wales police commissioner says there's no single source of gun violence. Guns have fallen into the hands of organized crime, outlaw motorcycle gangs, and mid-level crime groups and petty thieves. And
so
the lines are
basically,
often blurred.
all of the criminals still have guns.
Right,
so that's
because
weird.
they didn't turn them in and they hadn't had them registered. So they only took them away from law-abiding people, and that's our point. When you register your guns and you want to control it, you're only taking guns away from good people, and bad people will still have them. It doesn't work. And even, getting back to that, even the Everytown guy, the CEO of that who resigned, he let it slip out that, anything that we can do for gun control isn't going to prevent a mass shooting or a school shooting.
That's weird.
None of it's going to matter. Well, no.
Crap,
Sherlock, as they say.
All right. That's enough of Australia. I don't like those people.
I know. Really?
No.
You don't like the Skippies?
I do like Australia an awful lot.
The Skippies are good. There was a survey out. I like this. I saw it. It's out. It's been out for a year. There's a website called police1.com, and it's all police officers. It's a big website. They have tens of thousands of people that contribute. They did a big survey. I don't know. They had like 10, 15,000 police officers, a lot of them on the front lines. And they asked them a bunch of questions, and they came up with some interesting results. But one said virtually all respondents, which was 95%, said that a federal ban on manufacture and sale of ammunition and magazines that hold more than 10 rounds would not reduce violent crime.
Really?
Really?
That's weird.
These guys get it. They also said the overwhelming majority, almost 90% of the officers, believe that casualties would be decreased if armed citizens were present at the onset of an active shooter incident. That's big. Really big. Almost 90% said casualties reduced.
Even the police know that the police won't be there when something happens in all cases. Almost no cases will the police be there.
Anti-gun, even Moms Demand Action came out and said there's never been a case of a good guy with a gun stopping a mass shooting. Well, yeah, that's true, because the ones that are out there, they usually stop the mass shooting before it comes to mass shooting, which is defined as usually 3 or more people.
Sure.
All right. More than 80% of the respondents supported arming school teachers and administrators who were willing to volunteer to train with firearms and carry one in the course of their job. 80% of police officers said arming school teachers.
So
a good idea.
A couple things from this. One, all the crap about even gun owners and even the police support common sense gun control. That's not true at all.
No.
Not proven by any data. The other thing is when they talk about police officers and these sorts of things supporting this control, usually they survey police chiefs and administrative political positions.
Mayors, those kinds of people.
That it's not the people that are dealing with it. It's not you and I. It's not the normal cop on that's out patrolling, that's seeing what is going on, that knows, hey, if I had some backup from that dude over there, that'd be cool. That would help.
And this was another question was, what level of impact do you think a legally armed citizen could have made during Newtown or Aurora shooting, right? And the choices were innocent casualties would likely have been avoided. Casualties would likely have been reduced. That was 80% of the officers. 11,215 officers said it would have been reduced, and all the rest of them were negligible. That was incredible, and they understand.
Yeah, they get it. It's common sense. You want to talk about common sense gun laws and common sense gun rights? That's it. That's common sense. That if there was a good person in these situations, that they would at least have some chance to do something to minimize the damage.
We know that if they don't have a weapon to defend themselves, there's zero chance that they can do anything.
Yeah. Yep.
But if they have a firearm, think of how many lives they could save.
All right, so
go ahead.
I'm glad we talked about that. That was the police get it. In general, they get it.
Police1.com, look for the survey. You can see the results.
Let's move on to the other side of the coin. Your favorite thing to talk about.
Police abuses, the growing police state.
in Ohio,
killing dogs, innocent people,
like
yada yada.
A lot of states, they once in a while they set up these sobriety road checks,
which is against. No, this was
not in Ohio.
This was a.
Well, okay, so it's interesting. In Ohio, they have to give.
This was a sobriety test.
In Ohio, apparently, they have to give notice. Well, or at least in this city or something, they have to give some sort of notice.
I just
to the
wanted
public.
to say that in Michigan, our Constitution says they can't do that,
which is great.
So they can't do that, but they can put up signs. I've seen this in the Flint area where they put up signs and say checkpoint ahead, and they have officers look to see who turns off the exits right after that,
and then
sign,
they go pull them over,
and they pull them over, and they don't actually have a checkpoint. They just have signs up, and so far they're getting away with that.
It's kind of weird.
I think it's bad, but anyways,
it is really bad. In Ohio, they put up this sobriety road sobriety checkpoint where they were stopping people to see if they were drunk. There's a guy in Ohio, I don't remember the dude's name, but that's not important, who stood on the sidewalk, public sidewalk, had a sign that said checkpoint ahead, turn off now. All right. Fine, right? Because if you ask Hillary Clinton, we have the First Amendment.
There was some kind of court case where somebody was flashing the headlights, and it was either the Supreme Court or federal court.
But the headlights didn't tell people to turn and to evade the checkpoint, which was the problem. The cops came up to this guy.
It was under the First Amendment, by the way. The headlight was, and this would be too.
Of course. It's under just freedom is what it's under. I mean, yeah, the First Amendment, sure. That's what the court's going to rule on. That's what it is. The police came and told this guy, hey, you need to leave.
Yeah.
If you don't, we're going to write you a citation. Yeah. They left. He didn't leave because he doesn't have to, and he knew that. The police came back at some time, and this time wrote him a citation.
Well, it was a warning, I guess.
Well, whatever it was, they actually wrote it up, and they stole his sign.
Yeah.
They walked away with his sign.
And the issue they had was the fact that it said, they didn't have a problem with saying checkpoint ahead, but the fact that
said turn off now,
that was bad.
But which I don't understand. But I don't get it.
I don't either. But what did the cops say the purpose of that check station was?
Well, the checkpoints are for educational purposes. And we need people to stop at our checkpoint
so we can educate them.
To get educated.
So we can tell them about drunk driving.
What the hell are you educating them about? That it's illegal to get drunk and drive? They don't know that? Maybe we should look at their driver's education in Ohio. Which, by the way, I think you guys actually should look into that. Try to maybe fix some of the holes you have there in the whole.
We're from the
police
thing, and we're here to help you.
Yeah. It's the seven scariest words to come from the police department,
from the government, and we're.
I was thinking, the police. Doesn't matter. No, that's ridiculous. What are they educating people on?
Oh, it was crap.
I mean, I told you.
Do you see the billboard that showed a cop up there and says, "I write speeding tickets to save lives."
That's right.
I eat Big Macs to lose weight.
Well, okay. So what they do is they see you speeding.
Right.
So what they do is they drive faster than you are already driving.
Endanger all kinds of people.
To catch you, to stop
make
you alongside.
You pull off the side of the road,
exactly.
Which is another
and
hazard.
Sit there so they can make you pay money.
Where police officers get hit and killed on the side of roads for these things. It doesn't make any sense.
Man.
So it's really not about that. It's about money in that regard, I think. Let's see. What else are the police doing? Well, this isn't so much the police.
Okay. I guess we're on a roll
now. We're going to move on because we don't have a lot of time, and I want to get to a lot of bad things that the police are doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're on a roll with the police. And
you always cut me off. We always run out at the end of the show. I never get to do my police
by
stuff.
design.
I know what you do. I'm not stupid.
No, it looks like we're out of time. Sorry.
Dang it.
All right, go ahead.
Well, the other thing is
you're
creating rules where you put people in jail for nonviolent and non-issues. In Pennsylvania, this mother, she dies in jail. I don't know how she died. Autopsy is pending. They put her in jail. She's a mother of 7 kids. They put her in jail because her kids had skipped school too many times, and they imposed $2,000 in fines on her. And they said, either pay the $2,000 or go to jail. Well, she couldn't afford it. Yeah. So they put her in jail. And she died. She was supposed to be in there for 2 days. She died within the first day. A tragedy. Even the judge, who reluctantly, and he had the power, reluctantly sentenced her to jail, said, did something happen? Was she scared to death? The lady didn't need to be here. We don't have debtors' prisons anymore. That went out 100 years ago.
So he's the judge that put her there?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
I mean, really, what a coward. I mean,
you shouldn't be putting people.
Are you sure? Are you sure he's the one that made the decision? I mean,
wait a minute. Yes, even the judge who reluctantly sentenced her to jail questioned the law that criminalized her.
Yeah. So,
Judge Dean Patton.
I mean, if something isn't right,
he's got to follow the law, you know.
If something isn't, we all have choices, Brian.
I know.
We all have choices.
Yeah, and
there were a lot.
The judge could have dismissed the fines.
I know.
He could have said,
I don't know them, but I've read in history books about a lot of people who were just following the laws and just following orders when they locked people up. I hear about that all the time. And a lot of people died because of those choices that those people made when they were just following orders. Now, this woman dying is not on the hands of this judge because we don't know why she died. She may have died at home, which if that was the case, she should have.
Personally,
I mean, you have no idea.
We don't know. She shouldn't have died alone in a jail cell.
She shouldn't have been in a jail cell.
And that goes back to you and your public school issue. Compulsory education laws have impacted society in a lot of ways, right? They're touted as something being done in the best interest of children. But really what it is a control, that allows the government to shape and mold the youth into being submissive citizens who accept the status quo. It's a tragedy. And she's not alone. I mean, they put people in jail all the time for not paying fines in this. What the hell does that accomplish? It's going to teach them a lesson? They can't pay it because they're indigent or whatever they are. They have other issues. Put them in jail where they can be, raped and pillaged.
Or just die halfway through their sentence.
Or die.
All right, we'll be right back.
Red State Talk Radio.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 877-238-6197. Again, 877-238-6197. That's 877-238-6197. 877-238-6197.
No college degree and mid-career? Make the choice that can make a difference this year with an ITT Technical Institute near you. At ITT Tech, we offer programs of study in fields including information technology, electronics technology, drafting and design, business, criminal justice, nursing, and the growing field of health sciences. And now, ITT Tech is helping reduce the cost of education with a new ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. The scholarship can help lower your education costs dramatically. We've always believed pursuing an education is a sound investment. And now, with the ITT Tech Scholarship, education could be in your future. To find out more about the Opportunity Scholarship at ITT Tech for yourself, just call 800-771-0443. That's 800-771-0443. With the ITT Tech Opportunity Scholarship. Now, it's your turn. 800-771-0443. How are we doing? For more information about graduation rates, the median data of students who completed the program, please visit programinfo.itt-tech.edu.
There's no better way to say I love you. I'm thankful you're in my life. I'm glad to be with you. I'm thinking about you, or I miss you. Done with a spectacular flower arrangement from proflowers.com. A gorgeous fresh flower arrangement is a must to dress up every birthday, holiday, or anniversary. As a special treat for you, your beautiful flowers start at an amazing low price of $19.99. And proflowers.com will include a free vase with floral orders. Imagine a beautiful bouquet of 100 blooms for only $19.99, with a free vase included. Every festive bouquet is guaranteed to last at least 7 days. Tell your loved ones you're thinking of them with flowers. Go to proflowers.com/radio and enter your code to receive this special offer. Enter code POKE. That's proflowers.com/radio, code POKE. Send a bouquet they'll never forget from proflowers.com/radio, code POKE.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
And we're back. I'm Nate. That's Brian over there. Apparently he's mute.
I'm Brian. What do you want to do now?
Back. Well, I want to real quick. I want to talk about this kid that got kicked out of
high school student,
ready to graduate, senior, 4 months before graduation,
3.75 grade point average, scholar, athlete.
Apparently, I haven't seen a picture, but the rumor is that they have a cute gym teacher, female.
Well, we did too. His name was Mr. McCall.
Some anonymous, and he's listening right now. He
was a sadistic bastard.
Right, so, some anonymous Twitter account tweeted that this kid kissed the teacher.
Scotch is good.
And the kid replied,
"Well, yeah,
actually, yes."
Yeah,
is what the tweet said. Okay, and he says it was sarcasm, and it probably was sarcasm, but that doesn't come across in text.
Not very well, no.
He got suspended for threatening or assaulting a school official, which I'm not sure how any of that happened. Yeah. He got suspended for 3 days or something, then they upped it to 10 days, and then they were going to expel him from school.
I think they did.
And I think he actually registered at another school.
Yeah.
This is right before graduation.
Which was ridiculous.
But this is the sort of thing that it was a tweet. Maybe it was poor judgment, but it didn't hurt anybody at all. How in the hell was he assaulting or threatening a teacher?
And the thing is, the school could have done the right thing and used it as a teaching moment and saying, listen, this is the kind of trouble you can get into.
You go.
Your tweets can be misinterpreted. Be careful what you say. Everything's out there. Social media can come back to bite you. They didn't do any of that. They just said, kissing the teacher, pow.
Good news. The kid's suing the school. I think he'll win.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he'll win.
I thought they let him back.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he will win. I think he has a civil lawsuit against the school. I think he's going to win it. Good for him. That is ridiculous. When you talk about schools and teachers taking care of your kids and how they should have power over your children. The tweet that he sent was after school. He didn't do it even at school. It's his personal life.
Right. Well, their issue is moral turpitude.
Oh, come on.
I mean,
that's not their business.
Well,
how about that?
It kind of is.
Not. It isn't.
Unless he's 18.
Now, come on.
If he's 18 and an adult and he has a relationship
we want
with the teacher,
we want the government dealing with that then. Is that what you're telling me? Because I don't think so. He didn't.
Well,
the teacher said he didn't. He said he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. It wasn't about that.
It was
if he had been
expelled,
joke. If he had been expelled for activities that were wrong between those two, then that's a different story. Mm-hmm. It was the tweet.
I agree.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. All right, bullet-resistant whiteboards. You saw this thing. We talked about the
blanket.
The blanket that you could put on. This is whiteboards that are apparently bullet-resistant. Delaware is thinking about making it a law that any new construction on a school...
major renovation.
Yeah, so new construction on a school would require them to install these bullet-resistant whiteboards.
But nobody knows exactly what that means. If it's on the wall...
I mean, are they just trying to protect the cinder block wall that's behind the whiteboard, or what?
Because there's plumbing and electrical
lines.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and that stuff's expensive.
Yeah, we don't want that.
It's ridiculous.
Kids we can replace, but electrical line...
All right.
Anyway, so I don't know.
So we'll see how that goes. But there's all of these solutions coming out one after the other to help kids
all
stay
cost
safe.
Money, and the
solution is to give the people guns.
Right. Is to allow parents and staff and teachers to carry,
by the way,
guns lawfully,
including the appropriate students. I would say.
No, we can't do that. We can't let students have guns.
We can't.
No, it'd be horrible.
Yeah, it would be horrible if
Think of the children. All right,
All right.
we're getting close. Let's see.
You wanted to talk.
Yeah, I didn't like this one.
It was a funeral.
It was a funeral
not a fun topic.
in Virginia. A man was pulled over in Alexandria while driving in a funeral procession. He had placarding on there, something hanging from his window saying he's part of the procession. He missed his great-grandmother's burial because of the delay. So when he was stopped by the cops, he couldn't believe he was being stopped because he went through a red light, right? So he's like waving the little thing saying, I'm in the funeral procession. What are you doing? Officer didn't really like that. The officer didn't care. He gave him a summons to appear in court. He held him up long enough that they missed the entire funeral.
And that's a
great-grandma only is going to get one funeral, right?
It's a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Dig her up and do it again.
It's ridiculous.
And so the officer's supervisor told the media that they are reviewing the tape of the intersection of the red light, and they'll determine if there's any wrongdoing.
Wait, did they have red light cameras in there? Because that's a whole other story.
Apparently.
In Michigan, in fact, I don't think it is legal to disobey traffic signals in a funeral procession.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure of that.
But in Virginia, guess what? It is legal.
You have right away.
I read the statute, and if you're in a funeral procession, you can disobey red lights.
Any ticket he got should be overturned. Hopefully,
I would think so. But that's part of the point. Point is, he missed his
That's
great-grandma's.
the small part of the point. I mean, the huge point. Yeah, he missed the funeral. I mean, I'm sure it's not something he was looking forward to.
And the
but
guy,
it's something you do.
The guy and somebody else in his car were actually pallbearers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they were a little short. Grandma might have been a big woman. I don't know.
You first told me about this. I thought they stopped the hearse.
No, that would have been great.
Yeah.
Really? Are you really dead in there? Prove to me that you're really dead in there.
I mean,
officer, we don't take these out for practice drives.
Papers, please. Yeah, and I don't know anybody who would ever drive one if they weren't part of a funeral procession.
Wait a minute. You own a hearse.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You have a hearse in your driveway right now.
But have you ever seen me driving it outside of a funeral procession?
Yes.
No, you haven't.
I've never seen you drive it, period.
There you go.
I do know that you do take it out trick-or-treating on Halloween.
Yeah. I don't get much candy. It's weird.
People are screaming, grabbing their kids, running away. Well, maybe it's because you're open carrying, and that terrifies everybody.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure that's it.
Yeah.
It is.
This one's close because I know people who are diabetic. Apparently, if you have a diabetic coma or incidents while you're driving in San Antonio, don't pull over because the cops there will just beat you up, break your ribs, do internal damage to your organs. And the thing is, more and more people are becoming diabetic in this country, and why the cops are not being trained to actually try to look for a wristband or a necklace, or maybe make the first assumption that it's a medical emergency and the guy isn't drunk like these cops did. They noticed his vehicle. They pulled over. Hey, buddy, you drunk? And, of course, the guy's unconscious, and he's, in a life-threatening situation. The guy's unconscious. He's disobeying our orders. What can we do? We have to beat him. So that's what they did. They wrestled with this unconscious guy.
That's not funny.
No, it's not. He's 70 years old. Punched the guy several times in the face and ribs. Yanked him out of the car. Pulled him down on the ground. Punched him and kicked him a few more times. For over 5 minutes. They said we're going to tase you.
But then he started following orders.
No, he didn't. What happened was another officer said, maybe he's diabetic.
Yeah.
Oops.
Listen.
I guess he is.
Listen. They have a family. They need to go home safe.
Injuries to his arm, face, head, and suffered 3 broken ribs. The officer who was seen on the video punching him reported that he feared that the unconscious man was reaching to switch the car in gear and wanted to prevent him from driving back onto the roadway.
So he beat him instead of just pulling him out or something. Because the guy wasn't fighting back.
The guy did not switch his car into gear. He was unconscious. It's a lie. But he's been cleared of all wrongdoing.
Of course he has.
And they even said that the department does train their officers on how to identify diabetic episodes.
Is it by beating them, and then if they don't
That's what you do.
If they don't start responding, then it must be diabetic.
Cut it out, yeah. Then you have to assume they're diabetic. I mean, it doesn't have to be diabetes. It could be a heart attack, a stroke, a number of things.
A long day, and you wanted to take a nap.
He could have been beaten and left on the side of the road. Who knows? But you don't go up there and assume that the guy's drunk because he's not responding to you. that's just a wrong mindset, and that's what's happening with the police in this world. Is they're assuming the worst on everybody, and beating and kicking and beating and kicking. This is one incident, but this happens a lot. I know a guy that this personally happened to in Michigan.
Yep.
He had an episode. He was not liked in the community. They knew who he was. He was a rabble-rouser. He was against the police department. They said,
just generally enjoyed liberty.
They said, we got you now. You're drunk. And they started beating him and harassing him and going to arrest him. And he was going into a diabetic shock.
Yep.
So this is not a once in a billion. This is happening quite a bit. And like I said, more and more people are diabetic, and this is going to happen more and more frequently.
All right, we are a little long. You got your money's worth, that's for sure. So
money?
We're out of time. Yeah, everyone.
Are you getting money? I thought you were getting money.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.